Good morning, boys and girls. Today you're going to take your test, and I'm going to read the questions to you, and you'll take it on paper today, okay? So we're going to answer some extended questions about things we learned in Unit 4. So go ahead and look at your test. When I read you a problem, you're going to go ahead and pause the video, fill in the rest of your answers, and then play it again so you can hear the next part of the test read aloud to you, okay? All right, so number 1. It says write the time. You're going to write the time for A, B, and C. Pause the video until you are ready to move on to number 2. Number 2, draw the hands to match the time. Go ahead and draw the hands on the time for A and B. Make sure we can tell the difference between your shorthand and your longhand. Number 3, write AM or PM to make the sentence true. Think about what AM means. Think about what PM means. So A says school starts at 9. Fill in the blank with AM or PM. B says I do my homework at 4:30. C, I read a bedtime story at 8. And D, I go to sleep for the night at 8:30. Go ahead and pause the video to fill in the rest of this page. Make sure it's all complete before you play the video again. Number 4, A says, what number do the blocks show? So look at the blocks. What number do they show? Your paper might look different because there's a random clock here. So look at your paper and do the blocks on your paper, please. B, write the number using expanded notation. So break apart the hundreds, tens, and ones. Number 5, write the numbers using expanded notation. So do 52. Pull over the tens and the ones. Do 25. Pull over the tens and the ones. B says write less than or greater than on the lines. Which one is less than or greater than? And C, explain how you knew which number was larger. Make sure you pause the video until you have this whole page filled in. Number 6, use base 10 shorthand. So draw your big flat, big square for your flat, lines for the longs or the tens, and then little dots for the cubes. You have to show 29, then you're going to add 13 more. So draw that in this open space. How many in all? So count the total you have there. And then show the total with the fewest blocks possible. Redraw what you have here to match this number in the smallest blocks possible. Pause the video until you're ready. Okay, this next part says to measure each line segment to the nearest inch and nearest centimeter. So we're gonna give you a ruler, and you're going to measure this line here, write how many inches it is on this line, how many centimeters on this line. Same for this one, measure this line, write how many inches on the first line, how many centimeters on the second line. Pause the video until you have all of that filled in, please. All right, now you can go ahead and take a stretch break please, because we have another page to do. So stretch out, stand up, shake it off, wiggle around, get used to coming back and doing your video or doing your test again. Take a stretch break. Pause the video until you're ready to move on. Stretch it out, please. All right, now we're going to do our questions that we've done all year so far. So I'm going to see what you know from all year. Number 1, you're going to write the time. Pause the video until you're ready to move on again, okay? Number 2, you have to solve the problems for A, B, and C. Be careful to see what sign it is. There's 2 addition, and then there's a subtraction. And then what pattern do you notice is what you're writing for D. Pause the video until you're ready. For number 3, you're going to solve the problem. So addition and then subtraction. And then D, what patterns do you notice again? You can come in. Are you recording? Yeah. All right, guys. So for number 4, you're going to fill in the missing numbers. Be careful with this because you start at 0 and then you go to 25 and then you have to fill it in. So make sure you're careful with that pattern. Pause the video until you're ready. Number 5, if you have 6 nickels, how many cents do you have? These are nickels. Count them and put that on the line. Make sure you put the cent sign. Number 6, if you have 6 quarters, how many cents do you have? So these are all quarters now. Draw your hairs if you need to, and then put the total on the line with the cent sign. Pause the video until you're ready. Number 7, you're going to fill in the missing numbers on these number grids. Pause the video until you're ready. And number 8, you're going to count the number of stars, and then you have to tell if the number of stars is odd or even for A. And then tell me how you know. How do you know they're odd or how do you know they're even? And C, write a number model with the number of stars as the sum. Use equal addends, which means doubles fact. Write a doubles fact that equals how many stars there are in this picture. All right, once you have that done, you guys are done with your test. I want you to please go back and look to make sure you have all of the questions filled in, and then you can turn it in wherever you're supposed to turn it in your class. Great job today, guys. Thank you for trying your best on that test.